Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Welcome to another time here. Welcome to another time in the upper room. Another opportunity and privilege to pray. Thanks for coming. You're welcome. We're doing a study through the book of Proverbs as we lead ourselves in a place of prayer. And we're presently looking at Proverbs chapter 7, verse 8 and 9. We've looked at verse 7, and we've been taking a topic, the wiles of the evil one. We've looked at one of the wiles of the evil one being simple-mindedness, naivety being the second one, lack of understanding being the third one. And we're presently looking at the fourth one, which is irresponsibility, not being responsible, and we're looking at that is anti the creation, the purpose, intent, and of God in creating man. We're created to be responsible. We're created to lord it over the elements of life. We're created to have dominion. The person that has dominion is responsible. Right, dominion and responsibility go together. When you're not responsible, then you're not having dominion in your life. When you're not responsible, then you're one given to making excuses. You're one given to complaining. You're one that is not accountable. Those are things we've looked at. Let's just key into where we stopped yesterday. We're looking at some different definitions of responsibility yesterday. We talked about the kind of a person a responsible person is. A responsible person is one that is reliable because that person owns the situation of his or her life. So you can rely on the person because that person will make commitments and stick by those commitments. So when you're looking at someone that is responsible, someone you can depend on, someone that is as it were predictable, how that person is going to act in every circumstance. It's not as if that person is stereotyped, that person is still innovative, but as far as character tendency is, you can rely on that person. You know what that person would do or what that person will be in every circumstance of life. you know Someone that's reliable is someone that's dependable. If I can rely on the person, I can depend on the person. That it's not someone that's going to tell you one thing and do another thing. It comes to mind for me, someone here wanted money, from me. Instead of to ask money straight, I don't have money, I need money. He tells me he wants to borrow the money with no intent of paying back. He just marked himself for life as someone that is not dependable, someone that is not trustworthy, someone that is not responsible. He might look responsible in the way he talks, the way he carries himself, but as far as money is concerned, he is not responsible. And if you cannot be responsible in terms of money, you are not responsible in the other areas of life because every lack of discipline, every lack of discretion, will affect all that discretion in every other area of your life. Habits affect one another. Habit either reinforce one another or deprecate one another. Bad habits deprecate good habits. Bad habits reinforce bad habits. Good habits deprecate bad habits. Good habits reinforce good habits. Still trying to close out on the word responsibility, we're just trying to go back to where we stopped. We said, a person that's responsible is one that's reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. You can rest, put something in that person's hand, and you can be rest assured about that person. I gave an example of someone that came to borrow money from me with no intent of returning it. It's not trustworthy, it's not responsible. He doesn't matter any other thing about him. He's X'd out. Is irresponsible, right? If someone comes to me and wants to know about who the person is, guess what I'm going to tell the person? Irresponsible. It doesn't matter where his quiet nature, any other thing about him. He has proved himself irresponsible because it's not reliable, it's not dependable, it's not trustworthy, right? So And someone that's responsible is also someone that understands the importance of meeting their obligations. If you have obligations, if you have a job to do, you need to know that it's yours to do. It's not about making excuses. Yes, you can explain if you're limited in any form of the other, but if it's your obligation, if it's your responsibility, you're called to do it. In your place of work, whatever your assignment, you need to own it, and do it to the best of your ability. Nobody's going to ask for you to do anything more than your ability, but they have to see that you're putting your best effort, you're putting your best foot forward, in doing that, not coming to make excuses, not coming to say, oh, I'm not paid well, I'm not this or that. You do your best in whatever the assigned position is for you, and that's what I look for in my firm, my company, and the people that work for me, is that have they done their best? Have they done their best? You know, we don't want anybody that is not doing their best to work for us. We don't beg people to work for us. We'll pay good wages. We'll take care of our people to the best of our knowledge, our best of our ability, you know. And I'm talking about my farm here. We don't beg people. People want to work for us because we'll pay good wages. We'll take care of the people that come to work for us because we're a responsible company, right? you know but that's responsibility, and it's knowing the importance of meeting your obligations and living up to your promise. If you make a promise, you live up to it. If you make a promise in marriage, you live up to your marriage. If you say you're going to love your husband or love one another, you live up to it. It's not going to be easy all the time, but someone that's responsible is someone that doesn't make excuses, someone that does what is expected to do, both in the easy time and in the hard time also, right? Not making compromises, as it were. I've heard people talk about fish in water and all of that, and make excuses on why they cannot live a holy life. Guess what? God couldn't be bothered about your excuses. God has already set his boundaries. He says, Galatians 6:7, God is not mocked. He doesn't listen to your excuses. Whatsoever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. You can make your excuses from now till thy kingdom come. Your judgment is a function of what you do and not do, right? Not your excuses, right? And we go on, it says, taking responsibility for our life allows us to the satisfaction and contentment of knowing that we did our best. As 2024 ends here, what are you going to say about yourself? Did you do your best? Did you put your best foot forward? And if you didn't, why? You took life for granted. Responsible people put their best into everything that they do, and they get the reward thereof. They get the satisfaction, first of all, that they did their best. But life has a way of rewarding people that are responsible. It might not come quickly, but it will surely come, because God makes everything beautiful in its own time. The Bible says that we needed patience after we have done the will of God to obtain the promises. Don't get discouraged if what you are believing God for is taking time. Stay faithful. Stay faithful. Stay responsible. And your reward will come. Your time of harvest will come. As sure is. Be like Joseph. It was in a foreign land, yet he remained faithful. He remained faithful to his commitment to God. He didn't say, I'm in Egypt now, so I have to do whatever I want to do apart from my father. Let me go to Potiphar's wife. No, no, no. I'm not going to do this thing. That's a sin against God, even though I'm not in Israel. My father is not seeing me, but God sees me. In that place where you are, God sees you. Your wife might not see you, your husband might not see you, but there's a God in heaven. Responsible people know there's a God in heaven, and they understand that God judges. That God judges, you know. But the scripture will say, without faith, it is impossible to please God, because those that come to God know that He is. He is. He is. In every circumstance of their life, they know that He is. He's alive and well, and He judges, because He knows that He is, and He's a rewarder. that God exists and is a rewarder. God exists and is a rewarder. God exists and is a rewarder. That's what drives responsible people, because they know that there's a judgment. God judges. Where will he judge you? It's a function of the work of your hands. It's not marked. Whatsoever a person sows, that's what the person is going to receive. Thanks for coming along today. Have a great remaining of today. See you same time tomorrow. God bless you.